Hi, I'm just going to show you how we use RealSmart for students to store their work and upload evidence, and how we would give feedback on that. So, for example, today I've had 2 Create lessons, and in those 2 lessons 86 pieces of evidence have been uploaded for me to look at. So I can click on the button, this button here, and just have a look at the pieces of evidence that have been uploaded. So for example, today Mason has composed a piece of music to go behind a neutral scene, and the object of this was so that the music changed the meaning of that scene. So you'll see a gentleman called Mr. Scott enter the room. Mason's objective was to try and make it seem, with the music that he composed, that Mr. Scott was evil. Now if I wanted to do some more detailed assessment and feedback, I can actually go into the ePortfolio itself and have a look. So for example, Key Stage 3 music composing, I can go and have a look in there and then look at individual students' work. So for example, Andrew Harris, I can look at all of his work and see where he's uploaded to. So I can see he's given me evidence for levels 4, 5, part of level 6, and a little bit here on the edge as well in exceptional performance. So what I would then do is have a look at the individual levels and see the evidence that he's uploaded. So here we've got a piece of music. This melody fits my aim of a happy celebration. Then once I've listened to that, I add a comment. This one was added a while ago. This is excellent, Andrew, well done. To improve this as evidence for higher targets, you could use more than one chord to accompany the melody. So that's my kind of next steps feedback. There is also a second piece of evidence here. This melody was meant to sound like a gunfight, and I've had to say to him, I'm not sure that you could class this as being a melody. There's definite pulse and rhythm, however there's no sense of a moving melody line. So I've had to say I'd like to see one more piece of evidence to hear to show that you can choose sounds to fit your aims. They've actually just done a piece of work called Beethoven Fusion, and I think this is more suitable for this, so I've asked him to upload this here, and then it will be up to Andrew to respond to that. In level 5 I can compose music for different occasions. This music was composed for a happy celebration, so he's used the same piece of evidence for 2 different levels, and then I've said to him, great, upload some more examples of composing for different occasions and you'll have met this target. Again, that's for Andrew to respond to. I can compose using melody. Andrew's uploaded this. It's the same piece of evidence, but this time he's talking about how he made the melody. I used trial and error to make this melody. Now, in the first instance, he'd only uploaded this clip, this MP3. So I said, what techniques did he use to compose the melody? And then Andrew's added to the evidence saying, I used trial and error to make this melody. So again, then there's a response from me. Thanks for responding, Andrew. As well as trial and error, could you tell me what musical devices you've used? And then I've directed him back to the lesson to recap his memory. So there's a dialogue going on there between the student and the teacher in terms of feedback, acting on the feedback as well. Just to show you some other types of evidence as well, Andrew's put this here for I can compose using rhythms. This is the Beethoven piece that I was talking about. Now what Andrew's done there, he's taken a small sample of Beethoven and taken other samples of drum beats. So students had drum samples to choose from, bass guitar samples, rhythm guitars, and then the melody from Beethoven's Fifth Symphony there. He's just taken a small snippet of that. So these are fantastic examples of composing using rhythm, Andrew. Make sure that they explain how you created them, because there's not an explanation at the moment. The next step to achieve higher levels is to start using devices like dynamics to suit your aims. So that would then start getting him into level 6. So I can do that for any of the ePortfolios that we use, the Create ePortfolio, performing, appraising, improvising, and I can look at individual kids' work and then give them feedback. The assessment for learning policy that we have in Create says that we would give formal feedback once a half term, either on work they've done in the workshops, which is your music, media or drama workshops, or then on the kind of generic all-encompassing challenge at the end. They would get some summative feedback at the end.